Alright guys, I'm done cleaning up my car. I've got some stuff right there still, but I gotta clean the windows. But back seat looks okay compared to what it used to. And now I'm going to go into what I'm going to start keeping in my car. I'm mostly going to keep this in the trunk to kind of keep it inconspicuous. I do have a little National Rifle Association sticker there, but what I'm looking at here is the biggest thing is I don't know all about prepping at all. So the one thing I'm going to have with me if I ever get stuck or trying to get back home is this right here. It's just a guide to survival. What I can eat and can't eat, what I need to do, how to skin squirrels. It's got everything in here. So that is going to be something that I'm going to, I'm going to have with me. I'm going to read it, but I'm also going to have with me just in case. It's just like the owner's manual to a car. I don't know everything about this car, but this is something I can refer to get me through it. So that's one thing I have. That's a big deal. Second thing I'm going to have is this big thing right here. What that is, that's all it is, kind of big duffel bag. But it's got a couple things in it. First thing it's got is this Johnson & Johnson 170 item first aid kit. I know it's not as good as some kits are made out to be, but for right now this is what I've got. I don't really have the time to buy everything I need and put it in here. I probably will at some time, but for now this is what I have, so we're going with it. Second thing I've got is MREs, man. I've got about 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 MREs, and these are the big kind too. These are these got everything in it. So this is my, I can live for probably about 6 days on these right here and live decent. Got a little bottle of water there. Another thing I have is a fishing kit in here if I ever find myself near water. In Tennessee, there are a lot of lakes, so this is just a quick, easy kit, something to keep with me. So, alright, and, I've got some pens, stuff like that, so I can write stuff down. So there's that. Next thing I have is my kind of get-home bag. This is not a bug-out bag by any means. So, a lot of guys are like, well, you couldn't really survive out, go somewhere. Guys, this is just to get me home. So that's why it's kind of inconspicuous. I live in a college town, so everybody's going to be wearing these. So people, if anything really, really bad happens, it'll kind of get me home. All right, here's a couple things. First things I've got are just some gloves. It's great to have these. These aren't mechanics gloves. These are little sug gloves, but they work really well. Same principle. Gloves just keep your hands protected from the elements and if I'm having to work on things. Second thing I've got is I've got a couple knives. First one I've got is a K-bar. This is a great knife used by the military for many, many years. There we go. You can baton with this. And what batoning is you can use to split firewood, take another piece of wood and hit the top of this, and it works really, really well for that batoning. So this works well. It's decently lightweight. It's got a rubberized grip, so I like it a lot, and it goes with me in my get home bag. Second thing I have is another knife. This one is another kind of U.S. surplus. It is kind of a boot knife, so it would be used as skinning game, stuff like that. So it's really lightweight, sharpened on both sides. So, and again, it's just, I like having kind of repetitive things. If one knife fails me, I've got a couple more. So, one of the next things I've got in here is some rope and a tarp. This could be, if I had to, this is a makeshift shelter. So what you would do is you would take the rope, tie it between 2 trees, and then throw the tarp over it. So it works as a makeshift shelter. I know it's not fantastic. I know they make those, they make really nice tents, but right now I don't have the money. So right now this is great for the size and weight that I'm needing to be carrying. So rope and a tarp. Another little first aid kit. This is more of a boo-boo kit, so, you know, but it's still good to have. It was $1, so I have a multi-tool. It's seen some hard use, but it's still great. Works really, really good. Also, I have a holster. Now, why would I have a holster in here? Well, what I do is I carry my Glock 17 in the car with me. I don't usually carry it in a holster because I don't take this into work. So what I do is I just kind of have it laying in my car. And, you know, if I'm ever in try to get home, I would need something to carry it with. This level 2 Black Hawk Serpa holster works really great for that. You know, it's Kydex, so it's going to be extremely resistant to the elements. I love Safariland, but it is made a little bit out of leather. So this would be great for the elements, and I like it a lot. So that's why that's in there. I've got a little water bladder. Water is going to be extremely essential, so I might even need to carry some more water. Any suggestions, by the way, guys, is very needed. 550 cord and a fire starter. Fire is one of the most essential things in surviving. Does this make it a lot harder than maybe a lighter or whatnot? Yeah, it does. But it gets the job done. It really, really does. I've practiced with these things. And if you're going to get these, practice with them, guys. They are a little difficult to get used to, but you can. Got some 550 cord. Always good to have is some extra 550 cord. It's cheap. 550 cord bracelet for more cord. Another little knife I've got is a Kershaw Skyline. I carry with me one of these with me every day, but an extra one in here is always great. It's a little sticky, so I got to get the oil out to it. But this is extremely lightweight, extremely sharp. So this is going to be my food prep knife, like can, skin game, whatnot. And again, it is always nice to have a backup. So I like my Kershaw Skyline. Also, I've got another. That's actually a box cutter, one of the little box cutter knives. A lot of people don't like these because they're inexpensive, but man, they work. Pretty much, you've got your blade on the end there, and it's just a little fold-up box cutter, and it works. Just enough said about that. Enough said. So I'm going to put this back up here. Continuing on, another thing I have is an extra little box of ammunition for my .380. That is my EDC gun, so I carry it with me everywhere I go, and of course a little flashlight. So that's what I've got in my bug out, or excuse me, my get home bag. Also in the back, I've got, you know, just a little hat, and I've also got this really cool hammock. What it is, this comes out and falls out to be a hammock. You know, it's something I can use to keep my body off of the ground, find two trees. I think it works great. Plus, if I'm ever in a situation where I need someone to find me, this would be great for signaling. So, you know, that's what I've got here, is just a little hammock. So, I've got that. Now, in the next part of this video, I'm going to ask what I should carry as my rifle that I need to carry in here. I've got two options. I've got the Ruger 1022, and then I've got the AK-74. I'm going to ask that question, guys. What do y'all think? I'm going to get into a little bit more details about these two guns here in just a little bit, so please stay tuned for part 2.